Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the year of our Lord 1714. Now, I am taking a look at the Age of Enlightenment mod here today. I saw it was released, I think, yesterday, on the Reddit forums and Paradox, etc. So, you know what, let's take a look at it. It's a very interesting time period. It's one that I'm actually remarkably interested in as of late. So, yeah, I thought I'd take a look at it. It's been rather intriguing, then. There's a lot here that I've never really seen any other mod do. I've never seen something like this. It's really rather fascinating because what's happened here is the developers, and this is actually really remarkably impressive. But for example, what happened here is everything here is essentially subsistence farming. There's no like coal here. It's all farming, baby. It's all farming. But the interesting thing is, if I take a look at all these provinces here, for example, you can see that we do have agriculture over here in Ile-de-France, or Sienne, I don't know how you pronounce that, I'm not even going to try. Paris has agriculture, but we do have, yes, over here in Lyon, we have mining, which is intriguing. The Rhone, we have, Grenoble, I don't know how to pronounce this. I've got a good friend from Bordeaux, so I'm going to say Bordeaux because I know how to say Bordeaux. But indeed, yes, we do have production very much reorganized. And so this is it. You actually see that industries are the resources, which is really, really interesting. I don't know how that will affect the economy. I don't know how. It seems like it could be a change for the better, really, perhaps. It will be rather intriguing. Now, in 14 years into the mod, we see that we have the Kingdom of Sweden, Denmark, Norway. Great Britain has formed rather recently. Austria has been going through a few problems as of late. The Ottomans have been doing well, they expanded. I did fight the War of Spanish Succession. Myself, Spain, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and I do have some small subjects here in Europe itself. We did fight and we did eventually win the war. I still do not know what the ramifications of the war will be, because we now have a, well, we have, I believe it's a Anjou or a Bourbon, essentially as heir to the throne of Spain, which is going to be rather intriguing. So far, I'll just do a little bit of a video here, just go through things and just show off some of the actual changes that have been made and just really how the mod looks. So we do have the regulars, infantry, cavalry, engineers. We do have guard over here. We have dragoons, cuirassiers. We do have heavy artillery over here. We have light artillery here. We do have grenadiers, which are rather interesting. So 8-6 there. The guard there, 5-6, which is intriguing. I imagine later text may change those around. It's really rather intriguing regarding the navy. You see, there's a lot of actual different classes here. We have clippers, we have frigates, two-deckers, ship of the line here, so to build the East Indiaman, three-deckers, the 74, heavy frigate, heavy first rate, and then we'd later have steamboats. I don't know when the end date here is of the mod, so it's going to be rather intriguing. But yeah, the cool thing is, we actually do have some very intriguing little events over here, little decisions over here, as we have this Sun King. And you know, this is something I really want to learn about. This is something I really do genuinely want to read about. It's more French history. It's something that just seems to slip by in my education, in my youth. So this is something I would like to rectify. So we do have some pretty interesting ones. A good one over here is Infamy has been extended to 30 rather than 25. But we have this over here. So if I own Brussels, Charleroi, however you pronounce that, and Luxembourg, we do actually have the ability, which is amazing, to actually core all of that, which is amazing. We have stabilizing the French border over here. So if I own Savoy, right, province owner is not in the sphere of influence. Okay, war policies, jingoism, have invented divine right of kings, have lower diplomatic relations than 0 with the Kingdom of France. Then I can actually call Savoy. We do have assume the crown of Italy. So I just need to have the Kingdom of Naples as our puppet. I have Milan here, but I do not have Naples. I don't know when I got Milan, by the way. I just looked one day and I had Milan. But look how powerful that is. Piedmont, Toscana, Lombardia, Veneto, Istrian, Sardinia, and Corsica. Cause. Now, cause is amazing. Love that. Love anything like that. And then we have Annex and Lorraine here. Lorraine. We do have some rather intriguing ones. I'm a big fan of Hobbs, in fact, so I do like the Leviathan over here. So we do have a couple of styles of government, like we have the Cult of the Enlightened Monarch. So we can actually have something called, well, we can have a Cult of Personality, which is really amazing here. So the ruling part is board there, pop consciousness, proof of superiority of an absolute monarch. Development speed is interest, research point. Become more absolutist. That's going to be interesting. Establish an enlightened monarch. As you can see, that one is quite good there. Oh, so it looks like the game does continue till 1821. Interesting. That's still a good period of time there. I'm glad that it doesn't go on to like the 1900s because it would just get too weird, I'd imagine. It'd be too much probably for the mod to handle. So yes, if I control this, I could core it, which is interesting. Now, if I take a look at the actual regions, that's probably a little bit easier said than done. So let's take a look. So we've just got to own that province. Savoia. Savona. Ha. Now that I think about it, it might in fact be. Let me just get the actual name first. Okay. Savoia. Let's take a look at that. It might have been changed. Savoia. Surveyor. It's not going well. It'll be intriguing, in fact. And I could actually justify. We also do have a new Casus Belli. And take capital, which is really intriguing. And take the capital region of the country and force them to move their capital elsewhere. That's nice. It's a lot of infamy, but that's actually pretty good. I like that there's different options there. Acquire state. I could go to war with Savoy. Yes, I need to have jingoism. I've not changed. So what we have right now is the absolutist faction. And there's also factions which is rather intriguing. Like if I go here to politics, we have movement to increase the burghers' power, the lower nobles. So we have radical, right, so what we have there is a gentry, nobility, first estate, radical faction. So there's a couple factions in here which is rather intriguing, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the first estate. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, we do have a couple ones over here, actually. The Edict of Versailles. That'll be rather intriguing. Excuse me. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of alternate history. It seems that you can actually, well, I actually loaded in earlier on first play as Austria just to see how it's like. And you can reform the Holy Roman Empire. You can actually centralize the Holy Roman Empire. Which is really remarkably interesting. So I'm going to have to check out a couple of these different nations, just see how things are, really. It seems remarkably interesting. But yes, we do have ambitions in Italy that could be achieved in a remarkable scale. I need to take a look over here. We have Bologna. So it seems like I would be able to call some of these areas over here, or most of what would obviously be Belgium later. Which would be rather powerful because there's a lot there. Indeed. We do have this over here. As we have the social reforms, this is actually the factions and their influence. I've been kind of playing around with things, just seeing how things work, really. And just really trying to get a sense of how this goes. So if you take a look over here then, so we have the absolutist faction, gentry. So you see here, we have the absolutists, we have traditionals, we have moderates, we have radicals. So it's going to be quite interesting. This can have a serious effect on your nation, which is rather intriguing. It is going to be a very interesting one to see how things develop. For some reason, Spain lost control of Granada. Now that might be by event, perhaps, or something went wrong there. We do have new Spain. But yes, we do have the British 13 colonies, which began as the English 13 colonies. We have our own colonies over here in North America. We have Louisiana. And we have, well, New France, essentially. We have the Portuguese Governorate of Brazil. There we go. This is rather intriguing, in fact. The Mughal Empire was much larger on the start, as you can see here by these cores. The Qin Empire is an intriguing one. Very large. The interesting thing is, they're the great power, which is intriguing. But then, I suppose this is it. It can work here. Because they are... Well, this is all subsistence farming. Which is to do with education has been changed to development, which is rather intriguing. As you can see here that we have development. And so what happens is periodically an event will fire. It is almost like EU4's MNT mod, sorry, MEIOU mod, MNT I believe it's known as well, in Victoria 2, which is really remarkably interesting. It's definitely going to bring my attention back to the game as well. So I thought I'd just show it off really and just show you guys what I'm playing right now. I will include a link, the link through which I actually downloaded the mod so you can take a look at it. I think it's only version 0.5, so it will be remarkably interesting to see how this mod develops then really. But it's really a good proof of concept just to see, just to have something like this be possible and to see how it works. I'm going to be very intrigued just to see how all this works, in fact. It's going to be very interesting. Well, there we go. There's likely more changes I haven't really had the ability to experience as of yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But until next time, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this, please do let me know. But let me know what you think down below. Which nation would you play on? Who would you play? Who would you play in the Age of Enlightenment, the year of our Lord 1700 from that day? Who would you play? What sort of alternate history could we see here? What sort of alternate history would you try to push for? That's going to be the question. And it's like... the fact that I won the War of Spanish Succession is going to be really remarkably interesting. I feel like that will play out later, because it wasn't just in there for nothing. So we will see there. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this, please do click the like button. That does help with YouTube algorithms. And subscribe if you're new. Until next time, goodbye for now.